Hello and welcome back to the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends series. It's round 5. My name's Tom and I'm going to be taking you through 2 more action-packed races over the course of tonight. We're here on the streets of Long Beach on the banks of the LA River to take you through 2 more action-packed races on this 2-mile circuit, including the reverse grid race 2. With the walls so close, these are going to be action-packed. Taking a quick look at the championship, Kenty currently holds the lead in the Prime Championship by 99 points over Yukoji Crony, who sits in second. He's got just 10 points over Robster in the Alfa Romeo in third, who in the early stages was leading the championship. He now holds a 24-point advantage over Ninja Goat and the Volvo, with Retro Rixie rounding out the top 5. In the AM Championship, KB Racing has a healthy 50-point lead over Maddie's Dog Pete, with Sir Nuts in the Ford Sierra in second. Fighting quite hard over that 4th position is It's Noodles and Devil's Boogeyman, with just 9 points separating the pair of them. So we've seen how they line up in the championship. Let's see how we're going to line up for race number 1. So pole position went the way of Robster in the Alfa Romeo, with Kenty championship leader alongside on row 1. Row 2 is Ninja Goat and Retro Rixie in the BMW. Row 3 is Sweet Tooth, formerly DI Ball, and Yukoji Crony. Row 4 sees Cubs and R Greenwood. Row 5, Top Am driver KB Racing shares it with Rob Racer, Angry Unicorn and Sir Nuts on row 6. Row 7 is Maddest of Pete and Penfold. Row 8 is Stumpy Steam and Ghosty Nightwolf from P16. Row 9 is Captain Store and Devil's Boogeyman. Row 10 is his rival It's Noodles and Millsy White, and rounding out this field is JGK Bennykaay in the Sierra. So ready to go out Long Beach. Good start there from the Alfa Romeos off the front row. You can see the gap they're getting already. Rixie's got a good start in the BMW, just about managed to outdrag Ninja Goat as Cubs is looking to come through in the middle. On board with Kenty as he heads down in towards turn number 1. You can see that red Alfa Romeo of Robster sporting a new livery this time out with the Alfa Romeo factory colours, as it looks like one of the Skylines has just gone shooting off into the escape road. That looked like Crony, as Rixie's got himself into 3rd place as Robster goes wide. So potentially could be a chance for 395 to get himself from 3rd place up in towards 2nd. We've got Ninja in there as well, so Volvo's running nose to tail as a DI Ball, formerly DI Ball, Sweet Tooth he's now likes to be called, can't think why, must like cake. Heads down towards the back end of the field, looking at Robster in the 88 car. He's trying to cement a bit of a championship fight at the moment, but with Kenty up in front of him, that's exactly what he doesn't want. He wants to try and get in front of the Alfa Romeo and get as many positions and as many points on him as possible to try and bring down that seemingly insurmountable lead. But Rixie now in 3rd place has Ninja Goat all over the back of him, and heading down the back straight under the bridge for the first time. We're going to have a quick look at the start here. So this is on board with Penfold, a little bit of lock-up, lots of lock-ups there, a little bit of contact at the back ends. One of the Volvos, that looks like KB Racing, and a BMW thrown into the wall. So it's all kicking off immediately here at Long Beach. We did say it was going to get action-packed. We didn't know it was going to be this bad, this quickly. This is on board with Stumpy Steam, and the BMW steams down in towards turn number 1. He makes contact with the Volvo, and that's what puts them both into the wall. So it was the Volvo and Stumpy Steam and the BM that ended up in the wall. But this is your fight for the lead at the moment. Robster's down the inside. Rixie trying to go around the outside, the long way round of the BMW. But the outside of that corner becomes the inside for this next one, and should give you the racing line to get towards the hairpin as quickly as possible. But he's already got inside. He's got his way to the inside line. And Rixie takes the lead the first time. And Alfa Romeo hasn't led the race in the first race of the day. Is this going to be the day that Alfa Romeo finally get beaten in the AM class? They're about to lose 2nd place as well, as Ninja Goat's gone down the inside. The Volvo's managed to outdrag Robster in the Alfa Romeo. So terrible moment there from Robster. He's gone down from 1st to 3rd in just a space of 1 corner. Here's another guy on a recovery drive. You've got KB Racing after that instance at the start, where he was put into the wall by Stumpy Steam. Now on the recovery, he's got a fellow hand driver. That looks like it's Devil's Boogeyman just in front of him, with Ghosty Nightwolf a little bit further behind in the Alfa Romeo. Captain Store, and I think that's Cowboy behind as well. So the Volvo going to try and use its straight line speed advantage to try and get past the Sierra. The Volvos aren't too hot through the corners. They're definitely hot down the straight. Side by side now through the long right-hander, down in towards turn number 1. The braking zone here is quite tricky, and the Volvo's already got himself in front. But the Sierra tries to come back, thinks about showing the nose, thinks a little bit better of it, and backs out. A little bit further behind these guys, you've got Store, I believe that's Unicorn going at it as well. So the Bastos car started side by side. Nuts has absolutely disappeared from this battle, while the 89 car gets into the back of the Alfa Romeo. As Ghosty Nightwolf seems like he's having a few troubles there. He can't get the car stopped quite as quickly as he wants to there. locking up, and now you've got the 89 car trying to go around the outside of Storer. So there's two bright red Alfa Romeos. You can tell the difference by the black stripe on the bottom of the sill. You've got to have good eyes to spot it, but they try to make my job as difficult as possible as they go 3 wide through that left-hander, sorry, as they head back up the hill before heading down the back straight. It looks like Unicorn's got himself in front, but Storer's down the inside there. Just a little bit of a tag. That's going to put the Unicorn in the wall. That's going to slow him down coming off the corner, and that's going to give Nightwolf the chance to get past Storer, potentially get past Unicorn as well. He's going to try and use the lack of power in the Alfa Romeo to try and get through, as the Sierra uses all of its power to defend. Hard on the brakes, a little bit of a lock-up from the Alfa, and he just about misses out on that position, and Unicorn hangs on to fight another day. But that Maxxis sponsored car is definitely looming in the rearview mirror of that Sierra. You've got to think it's only a matter of time before they start getting past, especially if there's a few more mistakes in front. Looks like you've got Prona getting into that fight as well, so it could get a little bit more interesting. So now you've got Greenwood and Pete. These guys fighting just outside the top 10, but they're still fighting hard for some valuable points as Greenwood pushes Pete wide. This could give the chance for Penfold a little bit further behind to get into this fight, and it has done. It's allowed Penfold to get through on Greenwood, heading towards that bottom hairpin for the final corner. Greenwood's got the barriers there. He might have picked up a little bit of damage. That BMW doesn't look like it's quite as quick off the blocks as it normally is. And the Alfa Romeo is just starting to drag away, so Penfold picks up a position after Greenwood went for a dive, but it didn't really come off for him. Down towards turn number 1. Will the BMW fancy dive on the Alfa Romeo, heading down in towards this corner? He looks towards the outside, goes to perfect racing line. Looks like Pete might have just outbraked himself a little bit, and he just keeps it on the track. You've got Penfold now trying to hang on as best he can for the BMW behind, but he's closed right back up onto Magdog Pete, so this could potentially become a 3-car fight just in front. So this is a quick look at why we saw Cubs dropping down the order. He was challenging towards the front of the field, heading through the roundabout. Oh, he's just clipped the wall a bit, and that's going to put a bit of damage on that car, and that's going to slow him down and force him through the pits. So after recovering quite quickly, KB Racing now coming under pressure from Rob Racer. This is an AM driver versus a Prime. It looks like you've got Unicorn just behind as well. So this again could become a 3-car fight pretty quickly. Rob in the 44 car looking down the inside of that last corner. It's going to become the outside for the next one, but you can see the Sierra just not quick enough to get side by side with the Volvo through that section. Heading up the hill now towards the right hand, that's going to lead us in towards the final sector, on board with Rob Racer as he looks at the back of that massive Volvo, filling his front view mirror. He's in the wall, a little bit wide. That Volvo understeered off, and they do have a tendency to do that, especially when you touch the power, but that puts him off in the wall. It's put Rob down a position. It's gave Unicorn the position quite handily there. He was very lucky not to get caught up in that one, but that shows how easily it is to drop it in a circuit like this when the walls are so close. There is absolutely no margin for error around this circuit. This is something we don't see very often. Skyline versus Skyline. AM driver, it's Noodles in front with UKOG Crony, who's up towards the front end of the championship, especially with news reaching us that Kenty is DNF'd from this one. He's not going to finish. It will put Crony in a very good position in the championship, and it's also going to put Kenty off the back of the grid for the next race as DNFs don't get put up towards the front. But Crony's not thinking about that. He's thinking about getting past this Skyline as he goes straight on into the braking zone. Cubs is at the back of this one, so these guys have been fighting all season long. Cubs and UKOG Crony, they fought in the touring car series that ran before this, and now in the Legends they're fighting again. The Alpha down the inside shows a nose but isn't quite close enough to get past the Skyline at this point here, trying to come through the next corner, bouncing over the curbs. Crony very nearly puts it in the wall, very lucky to keep it out of there. The Alfa Romeo is still swarming all over the rear wing of that Nissan Skyline, heading down in towards the bottom section of the circuit, and Crony just about hanging on against Cubs, on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, wearing the logos of Michelle Westby, heading down towards this corner, sponsored by Firestone. Stumpy Steve off in the barriers and the exit. We might take a look at what happened to him in a little bit, but right in the slipstream of this Nissan Skyline, heading down into the final complex to put another lap in the books. Will Cubs be able to fancy dive? Lock up from Crony. Crony gives in the position on a silver platter, and Cubs goes through and wins that battle between the pair of them. So with Kenty out of it, this now becomes the fight over second place. Once again, Ninja Goat in race number 1 of the night has got his Volvo in towards second place, but Robster is going to try and capitalise as best he can to try and make as many positions up. You've got Greenwood going slow on the outside, so you might have to take a look at what happened to that BMW. But Robster looking towards the inside of the Volvo. The Alphas are stronger through the tighter corners. They're able to get the power down a little bit better than the Volvos. On board with the Alfa Romeo driver of Robster. Will he be able to chuck it down the inside of this right-hander? He's nowhere near close enough. He focuses on getting a good exit out of this corner. Tries to go for the slipstream. He doesn't need it. He's going to go side by side with the Volvo anyway. The power of the Volvo is not going to help him in this situation. Thanks to better drive, the Alfa got off the corner. The Alfa's got the inside of this right-hander. Tiny little lockup from Ninja in the Volvo, and he's lost second place. So Ninja drops down towards second place. He's still on the podium, so it's going to be a good result for him. But crucially, Robster moves himself up to second place with his championship rival not scoring and 75 points on offer for a win. This is the perfect position for Robster to be in right now. So this is what happened to the BMW of our Greenwood that we saw going slow, heading through the roundabout section, coming through the right-hander. So is it going to be a spin on the curb? No, he's not quite. Oh, he's clipped a wing, and that spat him off into the barriers. So a little bit of debris on the circuit has put that BMW into the barriers straight away. This on board with Millsy White. There's another BMW, pretty much the same corner. You see Greenwood's car's disappeared, and he's clattered the curb on the way in. Got the car all sorts of sideways, and it's just fed him straight into the wall. So clearly not a good day to be in a BMW unless your name is Retro Rixie, because he's going to become the first driver in the AM lobby, out of the AMs or the Pro-Ams, who's going to beat the Alfa Romeos. Retro Rixie in the BMW comes across the line to win round number 9 of the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends Series. Second place went the way of Ninja Goat, with third place and the final podium spot being held by an Alfa Romeo of Robster in third. Sweet Tooth in fourth in the Volvo, Angry Unicorn fifth, Penfold in sixth, Maddest Dog Pete top and driver in seventh. KB Racing recovered after that instance at the start to come back to 8th, Captain Stora 8th, Devil's Boogeyman 9th, Cubs in 11th, and Rob Racer rounded out the top 12. So, as I mentioned before, the second race of the day is always a reverse grid, which means our Greenwood and JGK Milan are going to hold the front row alongside Ghosty Nightwolf and Millsy White, UK As You Crody and It's Noodles, making it an all Skyline Road 3. Now, this is a street circuit, there's 21 cars. I don't need to tell you what's about to happen. Let's go down to the grid. So away we go for the reverse grid race. Really slow start there from JGK Milan. He's lost about 1, 2, 3, 4 places, potentially a 5th place there, as it looks like they're going 3 wide at the front of this field. Over the lead of this race, Cubs in front of us. That is 5 places lost there for JGK Milan. Heading down in towards the first real braking zone. There's 3 wide. Greenwood, Millsy, and that's Ghosty Nightwolf as Greenwood gets fired off in towards the escape road. Ghosty Nightwolf takes the lead. Millsy White is there in second. Crony's there in third as you head through the roundabout for the first time. You all start checking up. Cubs is in there in fourth. He clambers all over the grassy section there as he head through the others. Looks like a BMW's gone up there. Like it was Rixie getting fired up there in the background, but it's Ghosty Nightwolf, Millsy, Crony, top 3. You've got Cubs just in there as well. So that's the top 3 of this race. They're all getting away pretty quickly, but it looked like it was absolute carnage at the back of this field. Millsy White, though, locks up, tries to go around the outside of Ghosty Nightwolf. The lead doesn't quite get the car stopped. Crony's ended up in the wall there, but he's just about fending off against Cubs, but Pete's in this as well as Millsy goes to lead. Millsy gets the lead against Ghosty Nightwolf. It's a drag race down the back straight between the Alfa Romeo and the BMW, but it looks like Millsy White's got himself into the lead in that bright yellow Liquid Molly car. He's changed the colour of this one. It seems to be going a lot quicker for him. Lock up from Millsy. That's how Ghosty Nightwolf to get side by side, and there's Crony's now back into third place as Pete's trying to go around the outside of Cubs, but it is Millsy White who holds the lead heading into the hairpin for the first time off asking. Millsy White's lead, Ghosty Nightwolf in second, but it was carnage at the opening lap. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened here. We're looking at Retro Rixie. He's going side by side, the 3 wide into the roundabout section. That's not going to work. Looks like Robster, and oh wow! This is why reverse grid races are crazy around this circuit. Rixie forced onto the roof of the Volvo. I think we're going to take a look. This is on board with Robster now, so he went flying as well. Oh, they were going off in turn 1 straight away. So it looked like Pete got spat out there. Penfold and Boogeyman in front. Robster's going to come through. He's got nowhere to go. Gets fired over the grass, and he ends up losing a couple of positions there by the looks of it. And then this is on board with Sweet Tooth. He's about to have a BMW come right over the front of him, but he's actually going to take a massive dive to get in front, because you can't see Rixie already heading into They're heading into the roundabout. Rixie makes it 3 wide, and then he gets pushed sideways over the top of the Volvo. Only at Long Beach could this carnage happen. 1 lap in the book. Stora's in there in 5th place, so he's having a good run at the moment. He's gone too deep though. Stora's in the barriers. So again, 2 laps in a row. Penfold's caught up there as well. Looks like there's another car caught in there, and he just avoids the Sierra, as you've got now Noodles trying to hang. Noodles is the big profiteer in that one. He's now right up behind Penfold, so he's been able to get himself in towards the top 10, having had a bit of a poor start. But now he's got, by the looks of it, one of the Bastos cars. It looks like the 89 car's just got through there, as Noodles got caught out with the braking zone there. Pete now under pressure from Cubs. This is for I believe 5th place, as you've got the guys in front starting to stretch the legs. Cubs goes wide. He's going to get dive bombed there by Robster. So Robster and Cubs now engaged in a drag race down the main straight. Robster backs out of it, lives to fight another day. Doesn't feel like going side by side. We've already seen a little bit of carnage in this race, and Robster definitely deciding that discretion is the better part of valor in the opening stages. These races are quite long, so it's quite important to remember you can't win them in the first couple of corners and the first couple of laps, but you can lose them, as there's a massive lock up there from Ghosty Nightwolf, and Robster fires it down the inside of Cubs. They're going to go side by side in towards the roundabout section, and he gets Cubs gets right into the back of Pete there, pushes him sideways, and Cubs is sideways now. He's going to come back across the track. He's in towards Pete, and that's going to allow Ninja to get through, and Pete stuck off in the barrier, so the black Alfa Romeo gets chucked in the wall. 3 laps in a row, 3 cars stuck in the barriers. This is absolute carnage here at Long Beach. Pete now on the recovery. He's got Stumpy's team behind him. If you're lucky if he hasn't got damage, he's got Kenzie in there as well. So Kenzie recovering after that race 1 incident. Pete's put himself into the barriers there. So because Kenzie DNF'd in race 1, the former championship leader is now got to try and fight his way through. He's already given away 75 points to the likes of Retro, Rixie and Robster, but he can still retain the lead if he gets himself up towards the front of this field. But he needs to try and do it as quickly as he can. He's first trying to dispose of Pete by the looks of it. You've got Noodles in there as well, as it looks like Sweet Tooth's down the order as well. Pete's going off towards the escape road, so he's not got that car stopped. As you've got Noodles now and Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth's already been in the centre of one. Rick and Kentie's in the grass. Kentie's in the verge. Will he be able to get himself off it? It looks like that Alfa Romeo might be stuck. I don't think he's going to be able to get it off there, but that's going to be 2 DNFs for Kenzie. That could put him out of the championship lead, especially with the likes of Crony already running towards the front of the field. This could have massive implications for the championship here. Rixie's gone through, so he's carried on running. This could have massive implications here. Rob Race around the outside of It's Noodles. So Pro-Am driver versus Am driver. These guys competing for separate championships, but if they can make places up, it's all taking points out of their respective championship leaders, who are both down the field. KB Racing's not had a decent start in this one. Neither has Kenzie, who's stuck on the roundabouts. Noodles now trying to fend off. He's got Rixie, and then he's got Greenwood going side by side with him. He's in a 3-wide sandwich, 2 BMWs either side of him. He decides to back out of it, lives to fight another day, decides to pick up the points, as now he's got Am Championship rival Sinux behind him, and JGK's in this as well, but Rixie trying to make as many points up as he can now. Rob Race is just in front of him. Noodles gets into the back of him. Greenwood sends it down the inside of Noodles. This is fantastic racing here. Now you've got Robster versus Ghosty Nightwolf. You've got Angry Unicorn in this one as well. KB Racing locks up behind the Volvo, so he looks like he's making his way down the escape road, as Robster once again going side by side with the driver heading towards the roundabout, but this time backs out of it. And it looks like Unicorn, Kentie's still there, so Kentie's definitely going to be out of this one. He's already a lap down. And now you've got KB Racing and Penfold coming into this fight in front, so this 3-car fight is now a 5-car fight, as Unicorn now desperately trying to get past Ghosty Nightwolf. He gets a spat exit out of that corner. That's allowed the Sierra through. Will it allow Robster and the other Alfa Romeo to get through? Robster needs to try and get as high up this field as he can to try and take the championship lead away from Kenzie. And he's got to be careful now, as I think Crony's up towards the top 3 of this race, so there's a chance that he might end up losing the championship lead to Crony, as Ghosty Nightwolf throws it down the inside. Looks like Robster's in the barrier. That's not what he needed. Robster needed a good race here. He's in the barriers. He's out of this one, as KB Racing now is side by side with Ghosty Nightwolf. Penfold's managed to get through as well, so even more carnage here and even more implications for the championship. Down in towards the bottom corner, massive lockup from Penfold and Ghosty Nightwolf, but they managed to keep the car in one piece and keep it in a straight line. But KB Racing's the profiteer from that one. He's managed to get 2 places. He's on the inside now, as you've got Penfold going around the outside. Ghosty Nightwolf trying to throw it down the inside as well. KB Racing's got both of those positions on the Alfa Romeo, and now the power of the Volvo, it's going to waltz away from these 2 cars. and maybe get onto the back of Unicorn in front. So battle for the lead now. Crony's right on the back of Millsy White. This is exactly what Crony needs. With Kenty out of this one, there is a real chance that he can take the championship lead here. He goes to the inside. Millsy takes the racing line. Lock up from the BMW. He goes a little bit deep. Crony gets towards the lead. Are we going to see the second different brand to win in 2 races to become the first 2 drivers to beat the Alfa Romeos? Is this going to be the first time we're not going to see an Alfa Romeo victory in the Pro-Am category? Down the back, down the main straight now, it looks like Crony has already gapped Millsy. I don't know where the top Alfa Romeo is, but he's definitely not in the top 3. As we head into the closing stage of this race, this is your top 3. Crony, Millsy, Ninja Goat. That's how close they are. In front, you've got some lap traffic, so this could play into it. Looks like, oh, you've got Storer in the wall. The red Alfa Romeo has got into the wall there. He's got out of the way of them. Looks like Manny's dog Pete's going to do the smart thing and stay towards the right-hand side of the track. And the leaders are going to go down to the left. It's really now a 2-horse race. That Volvo's definitely not going to pick up second place, but Millsy could end up picking up the win here. Lock up for the BMW. Crony just about gets away with it. There's only a couple of corners left and only one real overtaking point. Millsy is pushing him through the final couple of corners in towards the hairpin. He's going to have to try and fancy dive. He's going to go for it here, but he doesn't get it. He gets alongside, but doesn't manage to get the power down. And it's going to be UKOG Crony who's going to come across the line to win round number 10 of the Autobrite Direct Touring Car Legends Series. What a race! That is why I love reverse grid races. You never know what is going to happen. You never know what the result's going to be. But the result this time was UKOG Crony takes the win ahead of Millsy White in second, Ninja Goat third. The first of the Alfa Romeos is Cubs there in 4th place. Angry Unicorn in 5th. Retro Rixie, who won race 1, finished in 6th. Lobster finished 7th. Stumpy Steam in 8th. Penfold in 9th. Then Sir Nuts in 10th is the top AM driver. Ghosted Out will finished 11th, and R. Greenwood rounded out the top 12. So, after all of that, let's take a look at what that's done to the championship. And yeah, it's all change at the top. UKOG Crony now takes over the lead on 572 points, just 4 points in hand over Robster in second. Kenty drops down to third on 565 with just a point in hand over Ninja Goat and the Volvo in fourth. It's a little bit further back to Retro Rixie despite that win to round out the top 5. In the AM Championship, things are a little bit further apart, with KB Racing now holding a 49-point advantage over Manistog Pete in second. Sir Nuts is still third with It's Noodles, and Devil's Boogeyman just separated by 10 points in their battle over 4th place. So that completes the action from the AM and the Pro-Am Championship, but we've still got the Pro drivers to come, so if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on our latest uploads. Thank you and goodbye.